D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday, but Monday today, but we'll talk about it, with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video, and you can read them for yourself, or you can just listen to this video where I'm going to read them to you. Now, I'm late with this one just because it's coming to the end of summer. My kids are going to go back to school and everything, and I wanted to spend some time with them. I know, I'm a jerk, but I got my video now, so why don't we go ahead and get started on these 3 stories. So for my first story this week, so director Neill Blomkamp, he did some interviews, or he's going around doing interviews for his movie Gran Turismo. This article comes from The Hollywood Reporter. So if you may know, he directed District 9, and in this, he did talk about District 10, which was supposed to be the follow-up sequel to District 9. Now, I'm not going to read this whole article because some of it has to deal with the Gran Turismo movie, and that's just not what we're here for, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have nothing against the movie, but I'll read this real quick. It says, Gran Turismo director Neill Blomkamp on telling an unlikely true story and putting District 10 on the back burner. There he is right there. More like Blomkamp. Gained a little weight there, buddy. The filmmaker, who had a meteoric debut on a District 9 in 2009, believes the long-gestured sequel will be made eventually, but not in the near term. All right, let's go down to the spot where it is. I've highlighted it here. So it says, in 2019, Blomkamp had a meteoric debut with his sci-fi feature District 9, which garnered 4 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Adapted Screenplay for Blomkamp and co-writer Terry Tatchell. Naturally, a sequel known as District 10 has been discussed ever since, and developments seem to finally pick up in 2021. However, as far as the near future is concerned, Blomkamp is pumping the brakes on the idea. Moving on. I don't know if it's getting made or not. I don't know if I even want to make that right now, but at some point down the line, it'll probably get made, Blomkamp said. We're not going to read that because that has nothing to do with it. So it has been not canceled, but it's been shelved indefinitely. So we don't know when it's going to happen, which is a bummer. I hope it happens soon because I personally love District 9. So I want to see the sequel. I think that and if you read this article, he kind of gets upset with the guy that is doing the reporting, because he keeps asking about all these projects that were canceled that he's supposed to be a part of, because he was supposed to be part of also Alien. But he's like, why do you keep asking me about these projects that I'm no longer involved in? Like move on. And so I thought that was kind of interesting that he was just like, hey, buddy, yeah, thanks for pouring salt on the wound, asshole. So will this movie get made? I don't know. Do we need a District 10 though? I don't know, man. It's been so long, and I think District 9, I love that movie. It's so good. And has Blomkamp really shined since then? I mean, I personally have liked a lot of his movies since then. I liked Elysium. It wasn't my favorite, and I didn't like it as much as I liked District 9. And he did Chappie. I liked Chappie. It was funny, but was it as good as District 9? No. I haven't seen Gran Turismo. Probably not going to see it until it comes out on digital, but I hear good things about it. So will District 10 get made? Who knows? But if it does, I will be there opening day for sure. But I do hope Blomkamp gets to direct it, because that's where he started, and I think that he would do a good job. I think that he knows his visual effects very well, and I think that that's where one place that he shines. So I think that that's where we go, and I really do feel bad for him in a way, because he hasn't gotten a chance to really step up in the ranks. I hope that Gran Turismo puts him a little bit more on the map in terms of getting him maybe some big blockbusters. I think that he would do a great job if given the chance. So that is my first story of the week, you guys. So for my second story of the week, now this one, we're going to talk about it, and we're just going to, we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to put it to bed, because there's been some developments since I grabbed this story to do for my week in review. Okay, so it says, is John Krasinski playing Batman in the DCU? So this came out, this was all over Twitter and stuff. Is John Krasinski playing Batman in DCU? The Office star has suddenly been linked to the Cape Crusaders, so here's what we know about whether or not the actor is taking on the role. Bears meet Battlestar Galactica Batman. Krasinski's rose to fame in NBC's hit comedy playing the lovable, loved-up, prank-prone Jim. From his increasingly elaborate practical jokes, who can forget Quad Desk? In his will they, won't they relationship with Pam, he may be one of the most well-liked sitcom characters of all time. In 2016, moviegoers were stunned. Okay, we're going to skip past this because I forgot how this was not. Okay, so it says, is John Krasinski playing Batman? No, Krasinski isn't playing Batman in the DCU. This rumor is conjured out of a thin air by several fan accounts after Bill Jet Rami, I don't know how to say that, tweeted a photo of Krasinski without any caption and indication of why he'd post it. So I'm not quite sure, but this guy, Mike Kalinowski, I don't know how to say that. And so he tweeted this out. So it says, and this is exactly how bullshit / no basis rumors start. Batman on Film, a respected Batman site, posted a picture of John Krasinski with no indicating anything. Then bullshit clickbait sites take that and run rumors which get traction. Look what it did. And then he shows these articles, and I read all this stuff. So one such tweet amassed 1.5 million views, and soon accounts with larger followings started scoping out people's opinion on the casting, even as a pure hypothetical. How would you react if John Krasinski was really cast as Batman in James Gunn's DC Universe Brave and the Bold? One tweet read, which is nearly 71,000 views, which I don't give a shit about that, but let's just read it anyways. Would you want to see Krasinski become the DCU Batman? Now, James Gunn has responded to this, and we are going to look at his response. But first, I want to give you my opinion on what I think of John Krasinski playing Batman. I don't think he's the right choice. He was Mr. Fantastic. He did a cameo. I didn't think he was the best Mr. Fantastic, in my opinion, because he was supposed to be the smartest man in the world. And then he gets turned into spaghetti strings. And I was like, yeah. And then he gives away the whole thing. Like, this guy can kill you with one whisper. And it's like, okay, well, then we just take his mouth out. I'm like, why would you tell her that? But I do like John Krasinski. I think he's a good actor. I think he's fun. I think he's, good looking and everything. But as Batman, I don't think so. That's not my personal choice. But at the same time, if they did cast him and he was good, I would praise him up and down. So now James Gunn has responded to this, and we are going to look at his response now. So let's head over to Screen Rant, where I just highlighted this little spot, and we're just going to look at this, and then we'll move on. But it says, the rumor is that actor John Krasinski was being eyed for the role. Of course, fans will recall that Krasinski recently played a variant of Mr. Fantastic for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so he's no longer a stranger to the superhero genre. Now, James Gunn has answered the possibility of the new Batman finally being cast. As you can see below, a fan simply brought up the rumor of Gunn on Threads, asking if there was any truth to the newly surfaced rumor as revealed by James Gunn. However, the rumors can't be true because they haven't even started writing the script. I don't know what you're talking about, James Gunn says about the rumors, but we don't even have a script, and there's a strike happening, he notes. So no casting, he concludes. So there you have it from the horse's mouth. John Krasinski is not going to be Batman at this point in time. They haven't even cast. And like he said, there's a writers and actor strike going on. So nobody's getting cast and everything. Could he have been cast before he went on strike? Possible. It is possible, but I don't think he did. So I think that this was very interesting that this small little thing happened and then it just blew up. I mean, it was, and I think it's a little weird in my opinion, just, but whatever. What do I know about this kind of thing? All right. So that's my second story of the week. So for my third and final story of the week. All right, so this comes from Deadline, and the reason I grabbed this one is because it's the Spiderwick Chronicles, and I wanted to talk about it because this is very interesting. So it says, the Spiderwick Chronicles not going forward at Disney Plus as part of a content cost-cutting and strategy shift being shopped by Paramount TV Studios. And it's like, this is very interesting. So let's read through this, and I'll talk to you about my relationship with Spiderwick Chronicles. So it says, exclusive. Amid a focus on content curation and Disney-owned IP, Disney Plus is not proceeding with the Spiderwick Chronicles, its live-action series adaptation of the popular children's fantasy books, Deadline has learned. I've read those books. They're an easy read if you want to read those to your kids or read them by yourself. I think they're pretty decent. They're not like the best books on the planet, but I think they're good, and they're like this thick. They're not very, very long. It'll take you could get through the whole series in a day if you really wanted to, if you really pounded through it, but you can get it done in a couple of days, and you would I think you would like them. So it says the 8-episode series from Paramount Television Studios and 20th Television have been completed. It is currently being shopped around by Paramount to other potential buyers. The decision comes as Disney, along with other media companies, have been re-evaluating their streaming strategies by cutting programming costs with a renewed focus on profitability. It is part of the major content write-off announced by Disney in May, I hear. So this makes sense in terms of them saving money because they don't have any. Everybody's broke, they don't have any money to spend on these crazy, these like little things. And I'm just like, man, you guys are just it's just very weird. But all right, let's finish this article, and then I'll give you some more of my thoughts. Okay, we are in the process of reviewing the content on our DTC services to align with the strategic changes in our approach to content curation. Disney CFO Christy McCarthy at the time. As a result, we will be removing certain content from our streaming platform and currently expect to take an impairment charge of approximately 1.5 to 1.8 billion. Shortly after that announcement was made, dozens of original series and specials were taken off Disney Plus, as well as Hulu. In July, Disney CEO Bob Iger said that there will be a pullback in making Marvel and Star Wars series and movies for Disney Plus too. Overall, in February, unveiled a plan for a $3 billion cut in non-sports content spend. Additionally, Disney Plus live action strategy also has been reassessed. The Spiderwick Chronicles was a rare Disney Plus series based on non-Disney IP coming from an outside studio. Moving forward, Disney branded television, which supplies Disney Plus with non-Marvel, Star Wars, and Nat Geo live action content, will be leaning more heavily into Disney-owned IP, I hear. Yeah, because they don't have to pay for it if it's Disney-owned, you know what I'm saying? So it says, I'm not going to read the rest of all this because it talks about Percy Jackson and the Goosebumps and everything. The Spiderwick Chronicles was first announced as part of the Disney Plus Day in November 2021. It went into production last September in Canada and wrapped filming in early 2023. Christian Slater, who had a one-season deal to play villain Malagroth, stars alongside Jack Dylan Grazer, Lion Daniels, Noah Cottrell, Joy Bryant, and Masala Lee. I don't know how to say that. Based on the best-selling books by Tony, I don't know how to say it, and Holly Black, the Spiderwick Chronicles is a contemporary American Gothic coming-of-age story. I'm not going to read the rest of this. Okay. So they did have a Spiderwick Chronicles movie back in the day. I think it came out in 2000 something. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what do I think about this? I think this is interesting because the show's done. The show is done, and they must really be hurting for cash if they've got a completed show and they're just like, nah, let's just pass on it so we can save some money. It will be interesting to see where this goes. And it's only 8 episodes, so I personally will be watching it, and maybe I'll review it if they do it episodic. Maybe I'll do episodic breakdowns and stuff. But yeah, I'm bummed that it's not going to be on Disney Plus just because I have Disney Plus, and I don't want to pay for another streaming service just to watch this show, but I will. But I do think this is interesting, and it does say something about what's going on over at Disney because of this. I mean, that streaming service was obviously not the best idea, guys, and they just keep plummeting in subscribers for that. And it's just interesting to see how all this stuff is going down. And I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. This is all Bob Iger's fault. Let's just put that into perspective. Bob Iger did this, and I don't feel bad for him. So you get what you deserve, and Bob Iger is getting his comeuppance, kind of, but Disney is, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see how all this goes. And yeah, I'll fill you in on the Spiderwick Chronicles thing if it comes up. All right, you guys, that was my final story of the week. So tell me, what do you guys think about all this stuff going down? How do you feel about the update for District 10, the sequel to District 9? Do you like Neill Blomkamp? I hope I said Blomkamp. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it doesn't matter. But do you like his movies? Do you like him as a director? What do you think about this District 10 movie not going forward as of now? Does that bum you out, or are you okay with it? Are you like, if it comes out, great, but if not, we'll be fine because we have District 9. How do you guys feel about this rumor mill going around with John Krasinski as Batman for the DCU? Do you think that stuff is like so weird and people are crazy and trying to like get news going when there's a slow news cycle going on? Do you think that that's cool, or do you think it was just one person posted something and everybody took that as something else? And then how would you feel if John Krasinski did play Batman? He probably would. I mean, he'd probably be fine, but he wouldn't be, I can tell you right now, he wouldn't be my favorite Batman right off the bat. I mean, I don't dislike the guy, but I don't know. I just feel like there's better choices. You know what I'm saying? And then finally, how do you feel about this Spiderwick Chronicles show not going forward at Disney Plus? Does this bum you out because you're a Disney Plus subscriber and you're like, oh, I could have had, 8 episodes of a show? Because like that's how I kind of feel. Like I'm like, oh, bummer, because I have Disney Plus. I would have totally watched it. Or are you just like, I don't care. I don't even know anything about the Spiderwick Chronicles. And did you read those books and everything? But tell me what you guys think about all of this. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next week on my weekend review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my weekend review.